Good morning, everybody. My name is JP the Outlaw, here to go over and give you the review for No Mercy. First of all, it was a great match. Great pay-per-view, rather. Let me straighten up. I just woke up, half-ass tired. We're going to put this stuff together, though. I got y'all. The Outlaw got y'all. You know who it is. The voice that makes some moist, your favorite color commentator, here to give you my review. There we go. They start off the match. First of all, I didn't watch the pre-show, so forgive me if I'm leaving out the Elias Sampson Apollo Crews match. I didn't watch that. I watched a little bit of it. I watched the Miz kick off the show, interrupting Kurt Angle. But now, since we're past that, they start off the match with Jason Jordan. Now, Jason Jordan and the Miz and Kurt Angle had words while Kurt Angle was on the kickoff show on a panel with Renee Young, Jerry the King Lawler, Sam Roberts, and also David Otunga. During the kickoff show, Miz comes out. He says, "I'm the best thing that ever happened to the Intercontinental Championship. I need to be treated with a little bit more respect. I'm the best thing you have on Raw right now." Of course, this match was okay. The Miz wound up pulling off a win with a distraction from the Miz Taraj. They let Jordan go out there and make a statement. You know, the numbers game was too great for him. His words, not mine. Numbers game was too great for him. He said these people say that Kurt Angle sucks when Miz is really the one who sucks. Some old BS, all-American BS. Second match of the night, Finn Balor versus the Demon. Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt, the Eater of Worlds. My biggest critique on this would have to be, why are these two fighting? Don't get me wrong, great action in the ring. Bray, they tried to sell Finn Balor as the underdog here, being oversized by Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt taking complete advantage of that as Finn Balor comes out, Bray comes behind him, hits him over the head, takes him on the outside, throws him against the announce table. I think it was the Spanish announce table or the German announce table. Throws him against the announce table twice, not once, but twice. Finn Balor started to get assistance out the ring. Bray Wyatt taunts him to come back in the ring and have the match. Which, again, Finn Balor overcomes all the odds and winds up beating Bray Wyatt. Now, my whole issue with this match is, again, why are they fighting? Why are they fighting over face paint? That's not a good reason. That's not a good reason to fight. Especially if you're building Finn Balor. When Finn Balor could be that next John Cena-esque for the next generation. Balor Club is real, man. And I think it's about time they start putting some wheels behind the Balor Club. You know, if you're going to have the Intercontinental title jump into the spot of the WWE Universal Championship, because Braun Strowman or Brock Lesnar should not have to be on TV every night. Not when you have the Cruiserweight title and the U.S. title. I mean, Intercontinental title. Shouldn't be on TV. But the moves that they're getting ready to make with the Cruiserweight Championship will go all over. Because it was a segment in last night's pay-per-view that just, again, confirms all the rumors that we've been hearing. I reported on it right after WrestleMania. And I'm pretty sure Dave Meltzer, a couple other people have reported on this big rumor. So we'll go over that when we get closer to that point in the match. Well, closer to that point in the night. Just to make a fair mention, The Miz did have the crowd behind it. And that just shows me what they're doing with Jason Jordan is not working. If The Miz, has been heel for quite some time now, I think the last time he had a babyface run, he was with Ric Flair. But, the crowd completely behind The Miz. chanting Jason Jordan, you suck. Even though Jason Jordan, with a nice spot, pulled off a hell of a Northern Light suplex. You know, when he does the concession, two in concession. When he hits you with one, flips over, hits you with another one. I thought it was beautiful. The way, especially the way he landed it. So, all in all, this match wasn't a bad match. It was a good match. The crowd started to turn on Jordan. But the one thing that I felt about this crowd, extremely hyped, extremely ready for this pay-per-view. So I appreciate that as a wrestling fan. You know, they try to keep your interest, if anything. Okay. So that was just a little brief touch on Miz and Jason Jordan. I didn't go over it when I was talking about him. So again, the Miz picks up the win. I went Jason Jordan. I had to check my notes. My notes say I went Jason Jordan, but I had to check the podcast and make sure that I'm correct. So don't quote me on that. Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. Finn Balor picks up the win. The next match of the night is the Raw Championship match between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. And Sheamus and Cesaro, the Bar. And I'm calling Dean and Seth Rollins Death. So if you hear me say Death every once in a blue, that's their name. That's what I'm going with, because both teams should have some type of nickname, some type of moniker. I like the Bar for Sheamus and Cesaro. Now, to make a long story short here, this match was fucking awesome. Cesaro takes a bump, which knocks his two front teeth either out or pushed them up. But, you know, it's blood all over the goddamn ring. The ref put on the white gloves to separate these guys. He tells Sheamus, you go ahead over there. You get your shit together. I mean, Sheamus pretty much took control of the match after this point. Kudos, I tip my hat to Cesaro, for sticking it out. He lost a lot of blood last night. A lot of blood. Just considering what happened with his teeth. That's fucked up. And I think Dean Ambrose, I'm starting not to like Dean Ambrose as a wrestler. Seriously. A couple of people had commented last night, you know, while on the chat. Sip of coffee. While on the chat, a lot of people had commented last night that, you know, Dean is not really what he's all cracked up to be, you know, in the chat room. And I agreed with it, only because, you know, Dean has been pushed down our throats as the third man out, you know. You see what they're doing with Seth Rollins. You see what they're doing with Roman Reigns. Dean is just there, man. Dean, his wrestling style reminds me a lot of a Mick Foley or a Hot Rod, you know. Not saying that the guy can't wrestle. I'm just saying his style of wrestling is just weird. It's like off. It's missing that 1-2 step, if I can say so. This match was a great fucking match, though. This was a great match. They wound up throwing Sheamus out Cesaro out the ring. The Kingslayers on the side of the apron, and you have Sheamus and Cesaro. They threw Cesaro over the top rope. You have Sheamus in the ring with Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose spins Sheamus around, pushes him to the turnbuckle, where Seth Rollins jumps in the ring, hits him with the Kingslayer, or King's Landing. I think they're calling it King's Landing now. Hits him with the King's Landing, and turns around. He turns around, gets a dirty deeds, picks up the win. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose retains the championships. Like I said, great match. You know, on the backstage segment before the match, you had Sheamus and Cesaro talk about how Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins is a nostalgia act. But here's my kicker to that. This is the first time mentioned of them breaking up. So I would look for them to do that, to have that angle played out by the time we get to TLC. Now, for TLC, a major announcement. Asuka will be at TLC, the Empress of Tomorrow. So, with that being said, I'm not sure how they're going to book Asuka. You know, I give you that before we go into the women's match. You know, I don't know how they're going to book Asuka. I hope that they book her right. I hope they don't throw her in there in a multi-women's match to win the championship, because I think her winning the championship should be a astounding statement. You know, you can have her literally damn near kill Alexa Bliss and have Nia Jax feel some type of way about it, them two being friends. Just throwing it out there. Just with the back and forth they had based off the night's match. This match actually had me all the way interested. I have the special shout out to Emma. Her performance tonight made me believe she deserved the shot to be inside that women's championship multi-women's match, okay? Just based off of her performance tonight. Now, Bayley came back, and I don't think Bayley was needed here. If anybody's seen Bayley, she's heavily taped. I'm thinking she's still injured. She gotta be. She is no way you recover that quickly and not feel no type of pain. Sasha Banks was Sasha Banks. Nia Jax was Nia Jax. Alexa Bliss, the 5 Feet of Fury, okay, came out looking like a Harley Quinn off of Suicide Squad, and I like that look on her just because she's a little woman. She's a little woman compared to the other women by numbers, by height, by weight. She should not have won that match. And I think that is good booking. Definitely. You know, right. Sasha winds up, Sasha and Bayley, the first time they touched in a while, and they wound up having a nice little back and forth in the middle of the ring. Bayley broke up the pin on Sasha, and Sasha broke up the pin on Bayley. So, I mean, I love that competition between the two women. I really do. I think there's a better story told with Sasha Banks and Bayley. It's just, when is WWE going to pull a trigger on that? Because if you tell that story, you have to have them feud for quite some time, and then you have to keep them separated for quite some time. Now, these women ain't getting no younger. So, I wonder when they're going to start the Sasha-Bayley rivalry that we all want to see. Just like in NXT Brooklyn TakeOver 2. Okay? Nia Jax was a beast in this damn thing. It took damn near all 4 women just to take her out the match. All the way around. Okay? Of course, Alexa Bliss picks up the win. I was going for Alexa Bliss anyway. My sleeper was Nia Jax, and Bayley wound up eating the pin. Now, I wouldn't have let Bayley eat the pin. You still can let Emma take losses, if anything. I know you started to build Emma. I don't know why. You know, maybe because of the hashtag. She's getting a lot of tweets out there. But you brought Bayley back to take the pin, which makes no goddamn sense. Why was she even involved in this match all the way around? Because Bayley could be doing something else. You could have had Bayley come back, pick up the win off her injury with Mickie James in the pre-show. I would have took that. Roman Reigns versus John Cena. Now, at this point, I'm bored to death. Of course, I know they're going to go extra minutes, but I don't see Roman Reigns or John Cena carrying each other to a great match. You know, this was a match that was okay. You know, even with The Rock and John Cena, that first match was the shit. Now, the second match, you know, it wasn't as good as their first match, the John Cena and The Rock. But this match between Roman and John Cena was just, it felt like it dragged. It felt like it took more time than what it needed to take to tell the story that they were trying to tell. I like John Cena now way